Awesome. The recording is started. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our training session today. We have Ali on the call as well. So if you guys have any questions, whether it is regarding velocity or RMA practices or compliance, feel free to shoot.
Yeah, so this day we're using it as a Q&A. So any questions you guys have, troubleshooting you need, that's what these guys are here for.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yes, Alan.
So I can't remember if you addressed this the last time, but can you tell me what the purpose is of having a client create an account versus continuing as a guest when they're filling out the application? Because for me, I would just prefer if they always just created an account. So, or even if there's just a default that anytime someone goes into an application, it's just defaulted to creating an account.
I will show you. Give me 1 second. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. So after they check off the terms and conditions, they can either continue as a guest or create an account. And it's account creation is basically optional, but we want to promote it and we've highlighted the benefits over here. So one thing which they can do is, let's say they started the application, but they don't have the time to complete it. Probably they want to do it 2 days later. So they can have an incomplete application saved, log into the account, complete it, and then submit it to you. So that's one thing which a guest cannot do. Then you have a dashboard on Velocity where you see the status of all the applications you have. A client will also see a dashboard where if you have submitted the deal to the lender, they will see it. If the lender approves, they will see it. If the lender declines, they do not see it because that's a conversation you want to have, right? So they will see a status. Next thing that they will see, so that's live progress over here. And next thing that they will see is, in one of the meetings, we spoke about how you can manually check off the conditions and request documents from clients. And then in one of the meetings, we also spoke about smart rules where conditions are populated in the deal automatically. So that process of you having to select all the conditions, it completely goes away because the document portal will be linked in the account. So when you add new conditions, if they click on upload documents, they directly go to the portal. They can upload the documents there, and within 30 minutes, you receive a notification that documents are uploaded. So I completely agree with you when you say that you would want the clients to create accounts. It's going to make your job a lot more easier. So that's definitely something you can mention when you are when you're inviting them to, submit an online application, that please ensure that you create an account for so-and-so reasons. Yeah.
Would be a good thing to add if you have a template for your clients that you send the application link in that, to add the benefits to creating an account right in there so that they would know it and see it right there.
I think the question
so
is,
going back to my question, then why would I ever want somebody to continue as a guest?
It's just that we've given this option because a lot of clients, they do not want to create accounts. Because today, if you look at the scenario, Alan, in 2026, even if you want to go and buy a t-shirt, someone's going to ask you to open an account online on their website. So a lot of people, they don't like creating accounts. So we've given this option as a guest where the sole purpose is for them to submit the application to you. That's all.
Sorry, just to push back. We're not doing t-shirts, we're doing mortgages. So I want their information. I want them to be bought in. So I don't want them to, if like, I would almost prefer if they're like, oh, I got to create an account, I don't want to do it. So they go away. So when they do come back, I know their information is there, and I know that it's not going to be this back and forth of like, are you are you in my system? Are you not in my system? Like I'm trying to get my head wrapped around why I would ever want someone to send someone a link so that they can continue as a guest.
I guess,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there a possibility of removing that or continue as a guest from our side?
No. It will always show up both. And Alan, that t-shirt example, that was just an example. I never said you're doing that.
No, I recognize that,
right?
but like my
Yeah.
point being, like, we want their information. It's understood that we are
So
going to be collecting
they
it.
are giving you the information, right? When they continue as a guest, they are still doing an online application, aren't they?
The only way that you're not going to get a notification is if they leave it. That's it. So you still get all their information the same way. It's just
Yeah.
they won't have the access to see the different things after the fact. So and they have to complete it in one go. That's the only thing. You're still getting all their information even if they do. It's more on the client that they won't see as much if they don't create an account. If that makes sense.
Okay, maybe I'm just not getting it. I do not see any benefit or purpose of someone continuing an application as a guest if the option is there to create an account.
Well, it's like anything, and he's right. I mean, here's right. It's like anything, right? Some clients don't care if they see the stuff after the fact. They just want to do it fast. They don't want to set up an account. They don't want to do those things. So it's just the way that Velocity has set it up. It's not that big of a deal. If you just tell your clients and you explain the benefits, and they're always going to create an account. And if they don't,
Yeah.
then you don't waste your time with them.
Someone maybe
Like,
wants
right?
to
It's
just
independent.
sit and they just want to submit, they just want to sit on their system and do an application from A to Z right now and submit it to you. If that's all they care about, then they are not going to create an account. That's all there is to it, nothing else.
Okay. I'll leave it. We can move on.
I think this is fair because I mean, I'm working on all three systems right now, Scarlet, Finmo, and Velocity. And with Finmo and Scarlet, you can go in and out of the deals on the client side. So they don't have to go back in and recreate as a guest, which is an inconvenience for our clients. So I think that's also breaking up the process and streamlining.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you.
Okay, so I'm just saying the other options that we have give us the opportunity for clients to come in and out of the deals without having to sign up as a guest. So it's not even an option.
Yeah, no, it is not. No.
I also understand what you guys are saying. Like, I get that. I don't know, though, if it's worth adding it into the process of, like, when you send them an email or welcome email, some spiel, please ensure you create an account.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you can just add it to your right in there and the benefits of it so clients know, and then they have the informed decision right off the bat before they even go to the application whether they want to do it or not. I mean, I've used Velocity for like 4 years. I've never had a client question whether they sign in as a guest or not. I mean, that's totally up to them. It doesn't really affect us if they're doing the process anyway. It's no skin off your back either way. So it's just on them. So if you want to have the process so that they are creating an account, then you have that conversation during your discovery call. You can put it in your email. If you have a templated email that you send to the clients to give them the link, you can add it in there as well. But there's no actual the only downfall to it for you guys as agents or us as agents is if they don't complete it and they abandon it, then we don't get notification that it's completed. That's really the only downfall to it. So I don't really see it as like a huge issue with Velocity. It's just different, and it gives the client the option of what they want to do, because some clients don't care. They want to submit their stuff to you and they don't ever care if they look at it again, right? Then you've got the clients that are very hands-on that want to know that that you submitted their deal, that it's approved, that they can go in and add more stuff to it. That you've got clients like that. Then you have clients that want to be really hands-off from it, just be like, I'll do the application and just tell me what you need from me, right? So I don't think
in terms of that, if clients don't continue, or if clients continue as guests and they actually complete the application, can you still send them document request updates for them to upload? That will still...
That will all work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still just like in the where you go, Michaela, where we were in the section, and you can ask like request docs in that section there.
Okay. And I'm sure if they hit continue as guest, started this, up at the top where it says save for later, will that just then default to asking them to make an account?
That is correct.
Okay.
Because if they want to save anything for later, it's going to need an account for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ali, you were
I
saying
just want to
something.
give a quick comparison. So think of it this way. When you work with your lender, most of them have portals, and you get automatic updates through those portals. The difference being, instead of getting portal updates, you're getting those updates from the fulfillment. Like you're getting those random updates from time to time when they review the file. So if the client set up an account, whether they complete the application or not, you're still getting their information, just as when you collect their information, it's going to ask them if they opt in for Castle, for Canadian Anti-Spam. You can still have people opt in and out at any given time, right? So in terms of what the client sees, like most of my clients continue as a guest, and I still get a full application. I'm still able to send them everything, and it makes no difference to how I do the deal. It's just a matter of, like we've said before, how involved the client wants to be. Some clients don't want continuous updates. They just want to hear from me when they need to. That's entirely up to the client with their experience and how they want to be involved.
Agreed. Edith, do you still have a question?
Yeah, I have a different question. I've
Sure.
gone through a couple deals now, and I noticed that I can't add multiple owners onto a property. Is that something maybe not doing correct on my side because it's only allowing me to have one owner per property? So let's say, for example, you know, it's just not letting me combine the two properties together with multiple people. Is there something that I'm missing? Can it only be listed as a single owner on a property?
Yeah, that is correct. No,
Oh,
only a
okay.
single owner.
Okay. Is that going to change?
Um, I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I don't think that's like a huge deal either because I mean,
Well, it is in
obviously,
one deal that I have because I have a client who has a property with their parents and then another property with somebody else. And so they're buying new houses together or rental properties or and something like that. There's it does have a difference.
but what would that what and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If they're on, then you would just put them as the owner. So you would select whoever's on it if the other people aren't on the deal with them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'll go through this with you later, Nicole.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You can cop on at 2 today if you want, and then we can go through it for sure. But yeah, it's I'll explain it then. It's totally fine. But we can do it here
Oh,
too. That's what
I
this
figured out
one's for.
also just another piece of feedback. I figured out how to remove all those images and those attachments that have been sent through the
Oh,
emails. So what's been happening is if you have, how in our RMI signatures we have our photo
yeah.
and then it says like Facebook, phone, email. If you have those pictures of the attachments, they come on as an attachment in your email instead of, so I had to redo my signature, removing all those images, and then it came through properly without like 12 attachments.
So
It's,
that would have
That's good.
happened. That would
yeah.
have happened only on a Google email because let me actually show you an email. Nicole, you remember I had sent a client experience from your account to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So
got there's all those attachments on it.
let me show you what that actually looks like. And I just hope I haven't deleted that one. I think I haven't.
I have it if you haven't.
Yes, there we go. So that's the email I had sent to myself from Nicole's Velocity account. And Newton's email address, it runs on Microsoft 365. This is Nicole's signature in the email. And you can see in the email, there are no attachments.
Oh, but I got the attachments. When I look at it, it shows attachments in mine.
That's how, it's because of Google. That's how Google works.
Oh, so it's not only if it's going to another Google email then.
Yes.
Then it will show those attachments. But if it's
That is
not,
correct. If it is
okay,
not
but
a
then
Google
Edith,
email, that doesn't happen.
okay, and Edith found a solution for that though. If people want to make sure that doesn't happen, is just by taking out the Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Is that correct, Edith? Those are the only 3 you have to take out.
You have to take out your photo, like all the
Oh,
every little image that's not a text. So even the telephone number, the link for the website, the address, the email envelope, that all has to be removed.
Yeah. So basically, your signature
okay.
becomes plain text.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good to know. If people want to do that, then they can
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
change it that way.
And also one more thing which I can add over here to Edith's point is outside of Velocity, I tested this. Like I sent a regular Gmail with all those images in the signature. It still converted that into attachments. So it's just to find out if this has got something to do with Velocity. What I found out it is not. That's just how Google works.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Nishant probably has a question for us.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I'm here. Good morning. Quick
Morning.
question.
Yes.
Will our velocity code change? Will it be still RMMZ or it would change to something new?
It's still RMMZ.
Because
Yeah,
it
so-
was with.
Yeah, so I don't think it will change. Only thing that you would notice is your file numbers will include VRMMZ dash random numbers, where V stands for velocity. That's all.
That's correct, because I'm using velocity. Because once I did the migration from my previous brokerage to the new brokerage, I had to spend like 8 hours cleaning up my velocity whole thing, if you remember, because there were a lot of
Yes.
duplicate files that came up. So I spent
Yeah.
nearly 8 hours to get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want
Yes.
to make sure like we are doing, if we are migrating to a new velocity, we are doing it properly, and we don't have to go through the suffering once again.
No, it's RM. It's staying the same, Nishant. The code's staying the
Yeah.
same.
Okay. Now another question is regarding the bank account linking. So if somebody links their bank accounts to Velocity, how can we see it and where can we see it?
So that's a paid add-on in Velocity. So first thing you need to do is when you are on the membership page, you would go to add-ons and you would go to easy account access and you need to buy the
Okay.
add-on. So
Okay.
give me 1 second here. Yeah, so you would either buy 20 credits or 100 credits. You need to buy the add-on. And once you've bought it, you can use it. Now, when it comes to using this particular add-on, Nishant, you have two options. One thing is when you go to your profile page, you can leave this toggle on for easy account access. So it's automatically going to request when someone's doing an online application. And when they attach bank statements, those bank statements will be available to you in conditions and documents.
Okay.
Over here, right? So that's option number one. But then there is also option number two. And that is you can manually request for statements using Easy Account whenever you're ready. And that's a path a lot of brokers actually prefer taking because you want the statements to be current. It should be usable, right? So let me show you how that is something you could do. So first thing would be, it's going to be the same as how you request documents from clients, exactly the same process. So you would go to add upload conditions, click on the drop down and look for bank statement as your condition, and then add that condition into the deal. Once it is added, you will assign an applicant. After that is done, there is an easy account icon over here. You would mark that. So that's the fourth one, which is this one. Once it is marked as easy account, select the condition and go to the actions button over here. Now, rest of the process is the same as requesting for documents. So go to actions and under client portal, request documents for conditions.
Okay.
Add the email address.
Sorry, Mihir, to interrupt. Are you able to zoom out? Because I think you're still zoomed in on the screen. It's hard to see.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not.
It might just
Maybe
be
let
my
me
screen
get
then.
rid of it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It was showing up okay on our end.
Okay, it might just be me then.
Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, actions, request documents for conditions over here. Add the email address. You can type in an email if you want. Hit the send button. Now I'm just going to wait for the email. When I receive it, I'll show it to you. Give me 1 second. All right, so I got that email. The client will click on the upload documents button. They will be taken to the portal. And on the portal, you will see easy account access. Now, the client says, log in, and that's the drop down they will see. Then they click on agree and continue, and they will see the list of financial institutions in Canada. Now, let's say, for example, their account is with, I don't know, maybe let's say CIBC. So they select CIBC, and this is where they're entering their card number and their password, basically their internet banking credentials. And then they have an option to get the statements added over here in this particular condition. So that's going to be the process if you want to manually request for statements using Easy Account. But again, let me remind you, Nishant and everyone, there are 2 important things for this particular tool to work with a client. Number 1, they should be signed up for internet banking. And number 2, they should be also signed up for email statements with their institution.
Which a lot of people aren't, right? Now? Or are
A lot of people are, yes. Yeah.
They are. Okay.
They are, because it's easier. It's much easier to
Because
view
they don't
your
get the paper
statements.
statements in.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions, Nishant?
I had one more question. I'll come back because I don't remember right now, because there was one more question, one more topic which I had to discuss.
Okay.
Getting
Okay.
old now.
Hey, Nicole, I have a quick question, maybe to you and Mihir Bhai also. Hey, Mihir Bhai, good to see you again after long.
Yes.
A quick
To
question.
see you.
Are we going to be doing compliance through Velocity or sticking to Scarlet?
Scarlet Pay, yeah.
Okay, no worries. Thanks.
Yeah. I think you were asking that question, Shailesh, from before when we used to have to do it through Velocity. Is that why you were asking?
Yep, it was super easy. I used to love that. Just go compliance.
Oh, see, you did and I didn't. I find Scarlet Pay so easy.
Yeah,
So,
no
but I
worries.
know Velocity is coming out with their own sort of version of Scarlet Pay, right?
Okay,
Yes.
So
okay.
to make it a lot
Okay.
easier.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And they're also coming out for those that have used Velocity. I think I think it was last session, so I might just be repeating myself, but being able to upload multiple docs is coming too, right, Mahir? Which is going to be huge. Because right now
Yes,
you can only
yes.
upload them single, and that's a pain. So if you have 12 bank statements, for example, you got to upload every one at one time. You don't have to in
Yes.
our system, but because we use Scarlet Pay, but if you were, but they're coming out with an option to be able to upload multiple, which will be huge. Huge
It
time
will. It will.
saver. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, Nishant, did you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah. Nishant now remembers. Yes.
Bigger sizes too, because it's right now it's only 10 MB or something like that. That's the maximum size of file. That
It's
Mhm.
15. It's 15 MB now, not 10.
Okay, it's 15. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So it was 10. We increased it to 15 probably a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine's
Is that it,
in
Nishant? Okay. Yeah. So Kelly.
And okay, one
Oh.
more thing regarding the number of borrowers. Like, is it still restricted to 4, or you guys are planning to increase
It
it?
is.
Because if it
So what we
because
did,
there are
Nishant,
some
is
files where there are 5 or 6.
so here's what we did. This was an internal conversation a few months ago, if I remember correctly. We reached out to the lenders where online submissions are done by brokers from Velocity, right? And we asked them what's the need what's the scenario where you need more than 4 applicants, and they were like, no, we need 4. We don't need more than 4. So it's like we don't have that motivation at this point of time to add more than 4 applicants into Velocity, because lenders are looking forward to applications with not more than 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go to Kelly, followed by Edith.
So I just had a question. I've been using Velocity for a few months, and I have like on the dashboard where it shows leads, pre-approvals, new deals, submitted, approved. I'm just wondering, like, if some of these deals have fallen off, let's say, or like we did a pre-approval, but the clients are no longer buying a house or they're going to wait a year, for example, how can I clean this up so that it's not just like a jumble when I'm looking at it? Like, I want to be able, like, I'm not sure how to move my clients from one bucket to another or park them somewhere else just to be like somewhere in my CRM. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so here's what you would do. Let's say if it's a pre-approval, you can click on the file number, so you're inside of it. Go
Yeah.
to the actions button at the top right and click park. So for
Okay.
instance, right now, if you see the deal status is new, and I would say park, the status has now moved to park. So first thing it'll do is it'll stop showing on the dashboard, number 1. And number 2, you have a park deals in the sidebar. When you click on that,
Okay.
you will see all the parked applications will be listed here. Just one quick note, however, and this is also important, not just for you, but for everyone. It's just an example I'm going to give, so nothing personal. Let's say you decide to leave referral mortgages and you move into another mortgage, another group where you have another Velocity account. So technically, you're going to request for a data copy between the accounts. So when you request a data copy, park deals are not included in the data copy. So,
Okay.
so you can use parked in two use cases. Number 1 is you can use it as a temporary deal status, but then
Okay.
you would move them back into any of the other Velocity deal statuses that you have. Or if you have got duplicate applications that you really don't care about, that's something you would park because it really doesn't matter.
Okay. And then in the
Yeah.
parks, like if I'm trying to sort, let's say then like to see what upcoming renewals or, when it shows in your dashboard, like what you have coming up in the next week, like birthdays, renewals, how it gives you that chart. Like, does that information pull from the park deals?
So you're referring to this one?
Yeah. Like if I in my park deals, I had somebody that had a property and I input mortgage maturity date of next year, whatever month, like is that going to show up in terms of my opportunities?
So calendar works in a way that it doesn't look at the deal status. So from what I understand, whether the deal is new, canceled, complete, or parked, the calendar should show you the maturity date as long as there is something in the mortgage request.
Okay, I'm just wondering, yeah, because once you park, like how then you could use that to then filter opportunities. Maybe that's another call, but that's sort of where I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out. Like I want to make sure that my client details are in there correctly, even if that deal doesn't come to fruition. How do I make sure I can filter it or sort it or like have that information pulled for me later? You know what I mean? I think.
Yes,
And
yes, yeah.
you could probably test it too, Kelly, if you used one of your park deals and changed the maturity date to like with it just as a test, like
Yeah.
30 days from now, and
Yeah.
see if it comes up in there just to make sure that that is actually happening.
Okay,
And
okay.
then go back and change it. But Mahir says he thinks it is. But if you want to be like 100% sure, you know what I mean? Then you could just
Yeah.
test it yourself to see to make sure that's
I
happening.
think one thing also they can do is in the mortgage request there's an option to cancel the deal. So you can choose cancel and loss to competitor or something like that. You can choose it. So it would be in the cancel deal. It doesn't get parked. Correct?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Kelly, if that works for you, you could do that too. Let's say you go inside a deal, you go to the mortgage request,
Mhm.
and once you are in mortgage request, go all the way to the bottom of the page. And you've got a cancel deal button.
But it still keeps my client data in the CRM. Even though I've canceled the deal itself is gone, but my client's info, whatever I've input is like, I can still get to it.
So when you say
That's right.
CRM, there are two aspects of a CRM. The first thing that the CRM wants is if that person is Castle opted in or not. So let's look at this scenario. What if you have a park deal? The client is Castle opted in. Will Velocity CRM send them an email? Yes. But what email? It'll be a newsletter, for example. It could be a birthday email, or it will be those holiday emails. But will Velocity CRM send a renewal email to someone that's in Park Deals? That's a no. For that, the status has to be funded or complete.
How do you just complete something if it's not funded? Like, do you have the option to say, okay, we're complete. We didn't fund anything, but we're done with that deal?
Yeah, so in terms of Velocity, I'll tell you what is the difference between funded and complete. Funded means the deal is funded, and complete means you were paid for that deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as long as your funded applications, they are sitting over here in this particular column called funded plus awaiting payment, and even if you do not mark them as complete, that's totally fine. Velocity CRM will still send them renewal emails.
But she's saying if they don't do the deal, like if they don't actually go through with the deal, is there a way to like trick the system to show it as funded or complete so that they still get the renewal email, etc.?
There is. So in that case, what you would do is you'll manually move the deal status to funded, include a closing date and a maturity date so that it sends out the email.
How do you do that?
So let's start from scratch. So there we go. I've started a deal. The status is new. We will go to the mortgage request section, choose a lender, because choosing a lender in a product will be important. Although it's not going to be mentioned anywhere in the renewal email, but choosing it is important. So that's going to be your first step. Then you will choose a closing date. So that's going to trigger anniversary emails. Then in the mortgage request, you will choose the maturity date. So I've already selected a closing date. So maturity date is already picked up depending on the product, but you can always go ahead and modify this date. Now go to conditions and documents and check off lender conditions met. Now the deal has been marked as funded. If you want to mark it as complete, that's fine. That's okay. If you do not, like I said, that's fine. So actions, and you say received payment. Now the deal is completed. So it will stop showing up on the dashboard, but Velocity CRM will still send them an email. So yes, what you're saying, this is very much possible. A lot of brokers do this.
Okay.
And then Kelly, you can make it in the notes section. You can make a note to say like this deal didn't actually fund, or like whatever you want to do. Like did this for purposes of CRM or something. So you could have it in your note there, so that you're not like, oh, I don't have the Scotiabank commitment, or because like 5 years later, say, I know it's 1 year, but if you pick 5 year, are you going to remember that you didn't actually do that deal, right? Or whatever the term is. So you could just write in your notes so that you would be able to stay like on top of that.
Okay, that's giving some direction. That's helpful. Yeah, I just don't like at the dashboard when it gets all muddy, that it's harder to kind of follow what's like actually active and what you're working on. But no, this is helpful. Thank you.
So only thing which we need to be worried about in this case is the MPP, because MPP would be sending a safety cache notification. So you might need to collapse the deal in MPP because there's a closing date, correct? Yeah, just make sure.
Okay. Thank you.
But we didn't create an MPP though.
But we didn't. Why will you do that?
So exactly. I don't think so.
No, it won't.
Even if you don't create it with a closing date, I think it sends a.
How would they know though, Nishant?
How would they know? You didn't connect it.
Somehow it is. I don't know. I received safety notifications, even if the deal was not funded or anything. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask John right now.
Yeah, just check it out.
Yeah, very interesting. Because I thought that happens only when you generate the link. All right. So in the meantime, let's go to Edith's question, I believe.
Mine's probably really simple. It's one for branding. Can we change the colors of the Velocity application, even if we were to like referral mortgage green, or is it just all the same purple color?
Oh yeah, no. The color of the application itself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for the branding cohesiveness. Okay, that's okay. No. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do have one question that came up in the chat as well. Tim is asking if parked is the same as archiving.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, part deals, they will remain here. It's just that when you move brokerages, part deals do not copy with the data copy. But yes, it will always remain here. So yes, you can say it's kind of archiving.
Another question from the chat, is there an option to filter by year month on the deal dashboard?
On the deals dashboard, no, it will. But why would you have a year month filter when it comes to submitted, approved, accepted, waiting to close? Because these are all active statuses, right? So I don't see a reason of adding a year filter over here. These are all active deal statuses.
Yeah, I think
Versus,
yeah, I was gonna say that might be more of a reports question because I know there's a
yeah.
deals dashboard report that you can do.
So rather what you would actually do is you would go to reports, and two of the most common reports that you would be using is Builder report and One-Touch reports. So if you go here to One-Touch reports, let's say you want to see the upcoming, the birthdays of your clients coming in the next 30 days, or if you want to see anniversaries coming up in the next 30 days, maturities coming up in the next 180 days, rate expiries, deals, or if you just want to see the total number of contacts and leads that you have in your database, you would just click on the view report button and it's going to show you a list.
Yeah, I think another helpful feature that might be nice to show here is actually the pipeline. This might be more of a pipeline question than build a report.
Yeah.
Because then,
So, yeah.
yeah.
No, Ali, you were saying something. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. I was gonna say it's a little bit easier, I find, to do through pipeline because then you can actually select each month through the year of 2026, for example. So I use it just to keep track of, okay, I've finally got through all my May closings and they're under control. Where are my June ones at? Because then you can
Yes.
click on the deal number and go to that deal and take a look at everything. But I do find that if you want specifically to go through by month, the pipeline is the easier way to do that.
Yes. So you've got the month over here, and then you would just click on this drill down button towards the right side, and it's going to show you a list of applications for that particular month. And then you can also pick a year. So that's also something doable, for instance, if that's what you're looking for.
And Tim,
I believe there is also one more question, right?
Yeah, Tim is asking if we can change the images used in templates since we cannot change the colors.
Yeah, in the templates, definitely you can. I mean, whether it's a client experience template or whether it's a Velocity CRM template, you can change colors because that's client communication. Then you can change your favorite colors. You will in fact have an option to use your hex code for Velocity CRM templates. That's doable. So yeah, the answer is yes for Tim's question. Yes, Tim, it is. Whether it is a client experience template that includes words or images, or whether it's a Velocity CRM template that includes words or images, you can change the colors and you can add your own content. You can also create your own client experience templates. You can also create your own Velocity CRM templates. You can do all of that. It's just that the option for anyone to change the colors of the actual application, which is not client facing, which is only broker facing, that's something which is not there.
There's another question too. So if we have agents that help other agents on their deals, right? So for example, when I came over, I was helping a couple of agents underwrite. And so say they put their deals under me, so they reassign them and I have access to them on my dashboard. Is there a way for me to remove them off my dashboard without it affecting the other agent's dashboard? Like, would it just park them on your own, or would that affect them on the other side?
No, I mean, so you're referring to a scenario where the deal is automatically assigned to an assigned user?
Yeah. So say for example, Nishant, right? I'm helping Nishant on a deal. He reassigned it to me, so I see it in my dashboard, or I have access to his deals. But then I stop helping Nishant. I'm not helping Nishant anymore. Is there a way for me to remove those off my dashboard so they're not on my dashboard anymore? Would it be that we can just park them on our own, like on mine, and then it still doesn't affect Nishant's? Or do we need to then go in and have our access removed from Nishant's, say, for example, so then all those deals I don't see anymore, then they would be off my dashboard?
So both of the options will work. You can either park it, or you could do the same. Like both the things that you said is possible. Another thing you could do is change the assigned user back to Nishant, just over here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll automatically get removed from your Velocity account altogether.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something you need to do individually for every application. It's not like you can do it in bulk for 5 applications. That's not
right
available at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have questions? Doesn't look like.
No. One thing though, Mahir, let's just show everyone where if you feel like a feature is missing from Velocity, where they can submit that. So as you're going through your files and you feel like there's a really good feature that's missing, where you can submit that feedback.
Yes. So guys, over here on Velocity 3 at the top right, you've got your initials. Exactly next to that, there is a smiley. When you click on that smiley, this is what comes up. And you can give an overall general feedback for Velocity 3, and anything that you type over here, it directly goes to Velocity 3 product development team. So let's say if you send an email to me with a feature request, then I read your email, then I send it to them. If you type anything over here, it directly goes to them. But yeah, you're most welcome to follow either of the approaches. You can send an email to me and then I can send it to them, or you can just type something in here and click on send your feedback. And you can do this multiple times. It's not like a one-time button. You can do it multiple times. Yes, Alan.
When we're creating a client experience and we're editing it, is there an undo option? Like I've been playing around with it and then all of a sudden I click the wrong thing, messes up my whole format, or I delete something by mistake. Like, is there just a quick undo button? Because I find sometimes I end up starting from scratch again.
Yeah, no. So if you want to create your own customized templates, what I suggest is go to add a template and go to blank rather than using one of the pre-built ones, because they are created in such a way that even I personally find it difficult to edit. So go to blank, go to use template, and just create anything over here. But no, there is no undo button as such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing that I think is worth noting too, sorry, I was just going to say is that if most people are using the beta 3, which I highly recommend, I really like that. I used to use classic all the time. Did not like modern. I'll just put it out there. So I wouldn't use it, but I do actually really like beta 3. I know I've said that before. It took some getting used to, but I really like the features on it. The one thing I will say that it doesn't have, and I don't know, I think I asked Carly, and I don't know that if or when it's going to, but is in the calculators on the beta 3, you can't do a comparison. So I don't know if that's different from Scarlett or from Finmo, if you can do that, but there's still the option to do it in Velocity. You just have to switch back to classic, I think, or modern, like either one of those views. And you would be able to use the comparison on the mortgage calculator, which is very handy, but it's not in beta 3 yet. I don't know if it's an ever, but it's not a yet thing. But just so you know that you're able to still do a comparison, you just have to switch back to the into the classic or the modern, which is handy if you're trying to tell them the difference between like a variable and a fixed, or 30 versus 25 years, or this lender or that lender, whatever it happens to be. It's a very useful tool.
Yes. So those calculators that anyone sees over here, Nicole, they are BenDG calculators. But Scenario Builder is something which is created by us. And the thing is, for Velocity 3, they have to create because I had a word with them probably again a few months back on the same topic, and they said they have to actually build a Scenario Builder in Velocity 3 from scratch. It's not like a copy paste for them. So while they said that they will definitely build it, but right now the priority, like I said, is just to ensure that they're very critically looking at the speed of the platform. So that's going to be high priority at this point of time. Then conditions and documents again is going to be high priority. And then probably after that is where the Scenario Builder might kick into their projects.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's not a big deal. I just thought it was worth mentioning because it's not there. So if people wanted that Scenario Builder, they do have access to it still in Velocity. It's just not in the beta 3 view. And that's all I was saying. Not that it's not a knock against it. It's just that they can see that they can still run it. They don't have to do separate ones and show them, and then they can actually still use that comparison. It's just in the other view.
Right. Yeah.
There's another question too. I just don't want to make sure I don't explain it wrong, but the agent is using beta 3 but they are having, like, when the lender updates, gives you updates, it won't show there. It's showing in the classic view. I think I'm explaining that right.
Oh, see, what you're saying is over here, the lender updates are not visible, but when they go to classic view mortgage request, it is visible.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something which needs to be immediately reported to Newton customer care by the agent, because it shouldn't happen.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, lender updates should come through no matter which version you're using, because that's something that's standard. So like Mihir said, that's one of the things that you call customer service for, because that's something they can fix in the background.
Perfect.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, guys, whenever you're looking for customer care's contact information, if you click again over here on this question mark, at the top right, you have a question mark. So when you click here, oops, give me 1 second. I'm going to exit my Zoom. Okay. You will see a number and you will see an email address. When you send an email to customercare@newton.ca, that email gets converted into a ticket. So this is something for which you might want to send them an email. Call them, definitely call them, but please call them for something you need urgently. This is not something they'll be able to fix for you over a phone call. So you might want to send them an email.
Any other questions?
Anything else, guys, before we call it a day?
Doesn't look like. So
All right.
next week is going to be about Gold Rush because we'll already be switched over as of this Friday. So then we'll have access to Gold Rush. So next week will be important for your CRM setup as like going into Gold Rush and the automatic campaign. So you guys won't want to miss that one. We've done that
Yes.
intentionally so that we were already switched over. So everybody had access to Gold Rush already before we did the training.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much.
All
I
right.
appreciate you as always.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. See
Bye.
you.